Hello and welcome to what would have been Hellish Horror Movie Nights. You'll notice I look a little different. So, a thing happened with episode 2. I promised the kaiju movie. I got what was marked as public domain movie, did all the work, scripted it, filmed it, all the editing's done, the video's done. I uploaded it to YouTube. Before I was even finished, I get a content ID warning. Toho Incorporated ordered it to be taken down, so we can't show you Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah from 1991. So that's not going to air tonight or whenever you're watching this, but March 8th, 2021 is when it was supposed to be on. So what I'm going to do is a little behind the scenes stuff, and I'm going to work on the next movie, which is going to be The Terror from Roger Corman, starring Jack Nicholson and Boris Karloff. And I'll try and get it out within the next week. So I'll rush it, but I've gotten a lot better at editing. Actually got better software. So since this is the behind the scenes thing, I switched from Lightworks, which I used on Night of the Living Dead, to do the little effect where I pop up and say my piece and go away, to DaVinci Resolve, the free version, because apparently DaVinci Resolve's free version has more features and better quality than most paid versions of most other apps. It just has a little bit higher learning curve, but I did figure out what I need and more, created my own titles and everything, so switched to that. Godzilla was done in that, and it looks amazing, but can't show it to you. But the Terror will be done that way. It's much quicker for me to do the edits, so I can get it done quicker. I just have to write material and film it, which takes the bulk of the time. So I'm going to rush to get that done. This is the usual area you see me in. You see this stuff in the background here. So I left this lightsaber lamp here, just because it's movie related, Star Wars related, so I thought it fit. This is where I work during the day at my regular job. I work remotely, and I've got this shelf here with some stuff on it. I have another laptop here beside me, my work laptop, and then this cask here has actually got whiskey in it from a ceremony at my wedding that we did. And there's some other things on this shelf, but you always see this in the background just because this is where I have to film from. And I'm probably going to get a green screen at one point and do the pop-ups there. I figured out a way to just put me in without having to have the wall and all the stuff behind me using a green screen. So eventually you won't have to see this stuff that much except in the intro and the cut parts. And I'm going to show you one of the cut scenes from the Godzilla that I did. One of the breaks, I did a cocktail for Godzilla. So I'm going to put that in here. You're going to see that part. But the major part of this I want to show you is how I do the makeup. I'm going to pull back the curtain and show you that. And the very first thing is get dressed, because you don't want makeup all over your face and then have to button this neck part and do your tie. Just smudge it and get it all over your shirt. And then you put these things on. I bought these years ago for Halloween, and I got some clear, the stuff that you make those stretchy bead bracelets with, replace the string because it was black and you can see it. So I got the clear stuff, and it's stretchy, fits over my head and disappears into my hair mostly. Can't really see it on my head here in my face. So those go on. Secret here also why I wear the collar shirt is I don't have to paint any further than here. So I'm gonna preface this by saying I'm not sponsored by anyone. None of these companies pay me, and I buy this stuff, the makeup, for Halloween and like live action roleplay games and cosplay and stuff. So it's just for me, for personal use, and I just have it. So when I created this character, I just had makeup. that I used, and I've been doing this for decades, honestly, doing makeup, so I got pretty good at doing it quickly. When I did this at the Row House Theater in Pittsburgh, I went in makeup the first night. The second night I showed up with my makeup kit, and in the bathroom in 5 minutes I was done. In makeup, full makeup, everything. Popped out of the bathroom and scared the life out of somebody because they had no idea I was coming out of there. But to do what I've been doing, I have two different palettes, but I end up with a makeup brush here. It's nice and fluffy and soft. This is for the powder makeup. This also is for the powder makeup for the highlight color. It's not as soft, and it's got kind of like a chisel tip to it, or pointed tip. I've got a regular little paintbrush for the black, for the line work, and for the smudging of the black. And make sure you clean these when you're finished. And I have this palette here. This was like $5. I bought it at Walmart, I think. It's from Profusion Cosmetics, called Spectrum palette. I used this red, that got really shiny, and this orange, and that's it. The rest of these I don't really use. I tried the yellow and it's just too bright for a highlight color, so I just use the orange. And then I have this Hard Candy brand makeup palette. It's their Wicked color. I used to use the red. Then I bought another red grease makeup, which stained my skin really badly. This red's about gone. Since I got the powder, I don't use the red anymore, but I do use the black in here. And I use these for other things, for Halloween and stuff, so I keep it around. But I use the black for a lot of things. And you can use black eyeliner and black eyeshadow if you just want to use all powder. Eyeshadow actually works really well for everything that I use this black for. I just don't have any handy, or I would just show you that because it actually looks better, honestly. And I would use it, but I don't have any around. I'm not going to actually start with this one. I'm going to start with the red. And like I said, you dress first, put the horns on first if you're going to do a look like this. It's important to, like I shaved today, but don't shave right before you do this. You don't want your pores all open. You don't want this stuff to irritate your face. And wash your face before you do it. We'll start with this big puffy brush and just kind of rub it across the red. And I'll get a little closer for you. This covers pretty well, as you'll see. Make sure to cover the skin everywhere. I can kind of see it here. You should be doing this in a mirror generally. You'll see it, but the camera I find actually is better. You see spots you missed really well in the camera. I don't know why it's so much better. I go all the way to the ears and do the ears. If you're going to see my ears, I might as well make them at least a little red. I don't go crazy on them. Get back here and get along around the neckline. It doesn't hurt if it gets on your shirt. It's just powder. It'll come off. This stuff washes off pretty easily too. But since it is powder, it doesn't smudge too easily. I like it. I've worn a lot of special effects makeup, and powder is generally preferable to me because it doesn't just smudge right off of me all the time. Around the eyes, make sure to close your eye. You don't want to just jam yourself in the eyeball with this. You don't have to get the eyelids because those are going to go in black. You can if you want, but you're going to cover them anyway, so I generally don't do them. I go into the hairline just so that you don't see like red skin and then hair. You don't want that divide. You want to go straight into the hair with the red so that you don't see any human skin there. You want to go full demon if you're going to do demon makeup. And you don't have to be a red demon. Honestly, when I created the character, Barry, I researched demon names for a little bit. I actually did a mad scientist character first, and I thought, I've seen that done before. And I've seen vampire horror hosts done. So I didn't want to do a full werewolf get-up because I'm a big guy and I sweat a lot and I didn't want to wear all that fur. So I did this because I had makeup. And I've never seen a demon horror host. I'm sure they exist, and I just don't know about them because honestly they're not very popular on television anymore. But I really liked them when I was younger and wanted to kind of bring that back. Plus, I can put it on the internet and it can reach everyone. So, there. Got to switch hands. I forgot where I was going with this, but when I created that character, I also wore contacts for him, which I don't have anymore. They were yellow, and my eyes are blue, so they turned kind of a green color, which was pretty cool. And up close, it looks really good. On camera, you probably wouldn't see it very well, to be totally honest. But so I don't do it for the show because I could order more, but you get very little effect out of it. Almost done with the red. And get down here, get the upper lip, under the nose. I have other brushes. I have a kabuki brush that I exclusively use for powders, setting powder. When I use cream or grease makeup, I do a setting powder layer over top. Excuse me, to make sure that it doesn't just rub right off or sweat off. Because like I said, sometimes I do like cosplay or live action role play, and you sweat doing that. So if you got makeup on, it's coming off at some point when you don't want it to. So setting powder helps it stay on. Even baby powder helps, which sometimes I'll just use that. That's what I've got. My makeup kit has evolved so much over the years. And then, excuse me, I had to get the lips. The makeup kit's changed so much from, oh, I gotta buy all these professional quality things to, oh, baby powder's fine. Just grab some cheap eyeliner and black eyeshadow and call it a day. I'm pretty well covered on the red. So we'll put that brush down. We're done with that one. Now we take this one here, the other makeup brush that's got a smaller head on it, and it's not as wide, it's still kind of fluffy, but it's a little stiffer. And we'll go into this orange color. See the orange here. We'll grab a bunch of it on there, and we just kind of hit the highlight parts. I do the bridge of the nose and orange that up. I like to do right here, like this part, and the same over here. You can't see it too much on camera, but it makes a nice highlight color, especially when I don't have any shadow yet. It's hard to really see it. And then I do above the eyebrows, because I'm going to create a fake eyebrow ridge with the black. So I want it to stand out, so I highlight it a little. And you could actually use, if you're using creamer or grease makeup, you could just smudge some white in there. A little more here. Hit the nose a little, because we highlight the nose a lot. And then the tops of the cheekbones, because I'm going to do the underneath in black, so I kind of want to highlight the top. And that's it for that brush and that palette. That powder palette is done. Move on to the grease paint or the Hard Candy brand. Grab the regular little paintbrush and go straight into the black. You can use a different brush for this. You can even use those little wedges, the makeup wedges, foam cosmetic wedges, whatever. I like a brush because I can control the lines. So I like to start with the cheekbones. I want up here with the orange. You just kind of suck your cheeks in. Find where that part is. Make a line. And you're going to want to go back up here, and I go all the way to my hairline, kind of curve up here at the end. Don't worry if you smudge it, because you want to smudge it. But you want to smudge now. I wipe this off a little onto the lid, so my lid's all dirty. And I grab the thick black line and I pull away from the line towards the bottom of my face to create the shadow. And sometimes I just smudge it with my finger, to be honest. And I'll just kind of extend this line with shadow. You see that it creates a shaded, kind of sunken in effect. Do this with zombie makeup as well. And then I just kind of do the temples a little. I don't have very big pronounced temples, so but I do the same thing. A line and then pull back. I'm going to just use the finger for that. Okay, then I'm going to do this line here. Just leave that as is. Do a little right there. And then right there. Get a little more black. And now we're going to start on the eye. And I'm going to close that eye. You do not want this in your eye. And then just kind of outline the eye socket on the inside here. And then pull across to darken it. I'm not going to just cake on the black on the eye socket. That just doesn't look good. It doesn't look like a shadow. It doesn't look sunken in. It just looks like you smeared black all over it. And I'll just kind of pull it across the eyelid. And I'm going to use the finger again to smudge it really well. Get that in there. It's not too bad. Get a little more black on it. Hit this part here. Alright, so then I usually do like I pull this down to create like a wrinkle. There, I can see better. Create a wrinkle. And smudge this out a little. And you're going to get a little more black on there. And then go from where you stopped here and straight down to about there. And then follow the contour of your nose back to that line you made. There. See that? And then do the thing where you pull and make the shadow and pull back towards your face. And kind of exaggerate how skinny your demon nose would be. Here's where we're going to make the fake eyebrow ridge, and this is just a line. It's pretty simple. Then you pull up. And then here, I like to do a little outline around the horns to like make them look like the skin's rippled a little. You pull out away. It just makes it look raised up a little. I usually don't go quite that dark. I do it more subtle. And then you do the same thing to the other side. And I'll probably speed this part up, to be honest. We'll switch hands and do it to the other side. And then to finish it off, I like to furrow my brow a little and put a little bit of darkness right there. That's a little more than I like there. Just a little bit in there. There you go. That's more or less it. One product I did forget to mention. I usually forget it, and I have to hurry up and put it on before I film. This is cheap Wet n Wild black lipstick. I'm not good at putting on lipstick, but he does the job. There you go. All done. So that's how I do the makeup for the show, for the cooking videos, for everything else. And I will hurry up and get the filming done for the Terror, get the editing all finished, and hopefully I can get that out to you. What was the original debut was going to be March 8th, so by the 15th, a week. Give me a week to get a whole movie or whole episode shot and edited. You know, give South Park a week, give me a week. So we'll see if we can do it. I should be able to. Editing takes me about 2 days. I've got to write material for this movie. I've seen it. I checked them for like nudity and things because I have to blur that for YouTube as well. There wasn't any that I caught on my watch of it, so I did watch it. I'll have to write something funny to say about it every 5 to 10 minutes. It's a shame about the Godzilla film because honestly I had so many jokes. They were really good too. They're easy to make fun of. They're fun to watch and they're funny and they're fun to joke about, and it was just going to be a good time, but we can't do it. But before we go, I am going to show you the Godzilla breath cocktail. It's a shooter or shot that I came up with for the show, and then that'll be it, and I'll see you hopefully on the 15th of March 2021 with actual episode 2 of Hellish Horror Movie Nights, Roger Corman's The Terror. Okay, so still haven't seen the big fight scene yet, but I'm getting kind of thirsty, and I came up with something in honor of Godzilla, which you're going to see coming up later, is his breath attack. He breathes fire, but it's not regular fire, it's blue atomic fire. So we're going to make a cocktail. I've got a thing full, or mostly full of ice. Put my spoon in there to stir with. We're going to get some, to start with, a half a cup of blue curacao, which is an orange flavored liqueur. Half of a cup of that. Right into there. Get that on camera for you. Sorry. And the same amount, half a cup of white rum. I'm actually using coconut rum. I wanted a flavored rum with this to offset some of that orange flavor. You actually can use vodka too, if you'd like. Let me dump that in there. And this is an atomic breath shot, so I'm going to make a few of these, and you are going to want to put them in shot glasses, which I have. Just not close enough to me, so I'm going to get to go get those. But you also want a tablespoon, measuring cup here, of lime juice. I have this bar mixer stuff that's sweetened, but you could squeeze your own. There you go. You're going to stir this. Stir it really well. You could shake it if you have a cocktail shaker. I just don't have one handy. And I don't think it makes a difference for this particular drink. Sorry about the noise. Then you're going to also want a tablespoon of some kind of fizzy thing. Either a lemon lime soda or club soda. Either one, depending on if you want more sweet or not. About a tablespoon of that. You probably hear that fizz just a little bit. I'm going to give that one quick little stir. And I am going to go off screen because I left them there and grab those shot glasses really quickly. Well, I'm going to grab one of them. Don't need both. I'm going to grab one. Because I don't need to double fist this. And give this a quick stir. I'm going to use the spoon to kind of strain the ice back. You get a nice blue drink, reminiscent of Godzilla's breath. Cheers.